If you want any more proof of a clear and convincing feedback loop between the opinion hosts at Fox News and President Trump, well, last night the president posted a string of tweets quoting Fox News personalities. There was one from Tucker Carlson, plus a video clip of Lou Dobbs assailing the Democrats' congressional investigations. He also quoted Sean Hannity, quote, "We the people will now be subjected to the biggest display of modern-day McCarthyism, which is the widest fishing net expedition, every aspect of the president's life, all in order to get power back so they can institute socialism," at Sean Hannity. Like I said, that was just last night. The reason that's important is because earlier that exact morning, the New Yorker zeroed in on the president's intense, cozy relationship with Fox News. Right on cue, as they say. Joining me now, the author, the magazine's chief Washington correspondent, Jane Mayer. Jane, thanks so much for being with us. I mean, it can be hard at times to tell who's actually behind the wheel in all this, whether it's Fox advocating for policy positions that the president then latches onto, or if it's the president advocating for policy positions that Fox News ends up latching onto.
I mean, in fact, it's impossible sometimes to tell who's really calling the tune. I spent months working on this story and talked to more than 75 people and kept looking at Fox and watching Trump's tweets, and it's just a constant loop, back and forth and back and forth. You know, some days it seems like Fox and Friends starts with a particular subject and then President Trump tweets about it. Some days it's the other way around. But whatever it is, it's a continuous loop that you can see.
There's also, I mean, the number of people from Fox who now work in the administration, you know, whether it's people in actual policy positions, I mean, people who are contributors on Fox like you know, Bolton, or Bill Shine, who is now, you know, dealing with communications there.
Yeah, and these are major posts. I mean, there have always been, I think, or at least in recent times, there have been people from the media who've landed in kind of spokesman's jobs in various administrations. What you see in the Trump administration is major posts are being filled by talking heads from Fox. And so you also see the door revolving in the other directions. But the particular thing that got me going on this story was that Bill Shine, who'd been the president of Fox News, became the White House communications director and deputy chief of staff last summer. And so you literally had someone from Fox in the position of the top job controlling the president's message. And it's been, there's been coordination ever since.
Yeah, I mean, you write, your article opens up with this detail of, you know, Sean Hannity, a press corps, you know, being led to where the president is on a trip, you know, and sort of brought in by the Secret Service en masse. Sean Hannity is already on location, and basically he's part of the administration entourage.
I mean, he's literally hugging members of the administration in this thing, and the other press are sort of kept behind the rope line by the Secret Service. I've been a White House reporter. I was during the Reagan administration. I've never seen anything like it, and I talked to a lot of presidential historians. They've never seen anything like it. And of course, the reason it matters is there's a concern that the country's biggest cable news network would be used as kind of a mouthpiece or almost state news. And that's what people worry about. And not just liberals worrying about it. There are a lot of conservatives who I talk to, people who used to be on Fox, who say there's no dissent, no kind of criticism of the president that it's getting through on Fox News. I mean, and there are exceptions. Let's just be fair here.
You know, Chris
There's
Wallace,
some good reporters.
Right, Chris Wallace and Brett Baer, I mean, you know, they're reporters.
Right, but the overall message there is just straight out of Trump's mouth and back again.
Obviously, Shepard Smith too has been you know
very good,
very fair in his coverage. It's interesting though, because I mean, initially, you know, back when Trump first kind of entered the race, it didn't seem like Fox News kind of knew which way to go on the president. I don't know if they were led by their opinion people or if it was something from the leadership from Murdoch on down, but. You know, you think back to the days of Megyn Kelly and all of that. I mean, I don't know if they suddenly saw the writing on the wall and realized, well, you know, the money for us is this guy, and that's what led them kind of down this path. Do you know how it worked?
You know, it is really interesting. Rupert Murdoch was a critic of Trump's in the beginning of the campaign, and then Roger Ailes, who was running Fox News at the time, was as you say, he was very uncomfortable with the situation. Among other things, it was true that Trump was getting great ratings, and it's still true. I mean, the thing is, he's bankable. And Trump, there's a financial incentive actually for Fox to do good news about Trump. Their ratings go up when Trump looks good, and their audience sort of turns away when there's bad news for Trump. So they actually make more money by making him look good.
You talk about in the beginning of the article whether Fox is a propaganda basically machine for the administration. I mean, do you believe it is?
Well, I mean, I think it's a big concern. I think there are a lot of questions raised by all of this reporting I was doing, and there's more reporting to be done. But, I mean, we've seen that there were a lot of favors that were done for Rupert Murdoch by this administration. It could be their innocent explanations. People need to know more about it.
Yeah.
I think, I think that it's a situation that I wouldn't like to see in this country, where we have state propaganda coming out of one of our largest cable companies.
Yeah. Well, Jane, again, it's a fascinating article. It's in the New Yorker. I recommend people read it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.